Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the CPRW podcast. My name is Colin. I do Colin's Punk Rock World and CPRW Records, and today I am joined by Lara.
Hello again, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Really boiling hot because it is really hot. I'm in my attic conversion at the moment where my office is, and we have two like skylight windows. You can see where the sun is coming in. And it's sometimes I just have to go downstairs just to like breathe because it's so hot up here. It's horrendous. Yeah.
Yes.
What about you?
I am also far too hot.
Yeah.
I've had to sort of close the curtains because it's just too bright to film.
Yeah.
Emma did suggest doing it downstairs, but I said I can't be bothered to move all the stuff downstairs.
That involves effort.
Yeah, forgetting that heat rises.
Oh yeah, that's it. I'm on like, well, the attic conversion, so it's rising and rising and rising. It's it's not pleasant being up here.
Absolutely awful. But summer is here.
Yeah.
There will be less podcasts if it is warm.
Yeah.
So this episode of the podcast, we will be talking about Bristol Booze Cruise. We both went over the weekend, had a lovely time, and we're going to talk about it further. I should just, if you're getting confused, so the last episode we did was the Hamburg preview. So if you want to listen to a review of that, that'll be the following episode. In theory, we've not gone yet, and there's train strikes and planes are being shit. But Robin and Brett should be able to get there, so it might not be me on there. They just do it themselves. There will hopefully be a review, basically. But so we went to the Bristol one over the weekend. It was at the Exchange. We spoke on the preview thing about how much the lineup had changed and like the circumstances, and that before they after we recorded the podcast, they announced some replacement bands, and that filled out the line. So I feel like when we did the preview, we definitely didn't sound as enthusiastic as we probably could have been.
Yeah.
I don't know if you felt the same.
Yeah, I felt bad, like, because I was maybe we should have done it a bit closer to actually go in, maybe, because I know we were both kind of, once like the day or two before kind of came around, we were both quite excited about it, but yeah, I think we were both a bit kind of despondent, I guess. I don't know.
It was understandable, but
yeah,
we probably should have been a bit more enthusiastic because it was still a very nice time.
Yeah, it was really good.
So me and Emma, we travelled down and across Bedford to Bristol. We went in that direction. We travelled on the Friday, on the hottest day of the year at that point. I think it was actually hotter than it is today, because we thought that will avoid any sort of stressing and rushing around. And we got hit with a nice hour delay on our train. That was a good start to the weekend.
Oh no.
I mean, it was one of those things where, there was a fatality between Bath and Bristol on the line, which is obviously very, very sad.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, it sounds weird saying luckily, but I don't know. I don't know the other word for it. But so our train had left Paddington. We hadn't made it to Reading yet, so they were able to reroute the train rather than have us stuck, which was fortunate. And luckily there was aircon on the train, and I had my peanuts, so all is well. But I did see. I was looking at Twitter and at the updates of what was going on, and there was another train I think caught in the middle that had no aircon.
Oh no!
So we got quite lucky in that instance that we arrived. Luckily, we didn't really also have plans for a timing, so we got to Bristol, checked in, showered, hid in the aircon room, then went out for dinner. Went to a place called Satan's Corner, which we went to when we went to Fishstock in March. I don't know the name of the Crofts Road or something. Do you know the name of it? You know Bristol better than I do.
Croft, is it?
That could be it. It was like a
big long road.
Yeah, with loads of independent.
I think that's the
shops. But it's on the corner towards the end of that. It's a really cool vegan place. I had a nice lamb inverted commas for Spotify listeners, kebab. Very, very nice. Recommend it if you're ever in Bristol. Go there.
Yeah.
Lovely food, great vibes. Yeah. And then, so yeah, we had that. Then went back to the hotel room basically and relaxed for the next day. And so on the Saturday, we met up with Matt and Charlotte before the festival started. Matt's beer from Me Nutrition and his girlfriend Charlotte. And we went, our other sort of Bristol regular spot now is On Burger. We went there, and that was also very, very nice. So 2 food places for you in Bristol. How was because you came up on the Saturday, didn't you? After you both went on massive runs like lunatics.
I know. I can wish we kind of come up the day before because we were so tired Saturday. Because I'd played netball the night before, and then we played quite late, and I couldn't get to sleep because we played until 9:30. And I just couldn't get to sleep, knowing that I had to get up to go running early as well. And I was looking forward to going to Bristol. So I had about 3 hours sleep.
Oh no.
So yeah, Nikki got up about, 4 o'clock to go running. And then I was just awake. I went out at 6. And we got to Bristol about, maybe 1-ish, I think. It was in like plenty of time to kind of get the start of everything, I suppose. But we went to get our wristbands, and then we thought, right, we've got time to go and check into the hotel now, which is like 3 o'clock, I think. And there's a bit of like a faff about getting the kind of key cards printed. We were in Premier Inn in Haymarket. And, like in Premier Inn, you can kind of like pre-book, and then you kind of just go into like the automated kind of screens. You haven't got to talk to anyone, which is
I didn't know
ideal. That. Yeah, we kind of put our registration or booking number or whatever in. And it came up with an error, can't print the cards or something. So, which is great. So we had to speak to somebody. Had to explain a few times to, I know, right? Had to explain to them a few times because they just couldn't get their head around the fact that it wasn't working, even though the till was next to the machine, but whatever. So anyway, they printed off these cards for us. Fine. So I don't know how long we were waiting. We were waiting for a while. So we went upstairs it's like, I think out of the 16th floor, they'd given us keys to the 15th. So it was quite like a bit of a lift journey up. It was a really nice view once we got out at the top. And then we got to the door, and we opened the door and there was already somebody in the room with all their stuff there. So it was kind of like, on The Simpsons, where Homer kind of like backs into the bush. It was kind of like that sort of moment. It's like, oh God. And so I kind of walked in, stopped, and we just kind of backed straight out. And we had to go back downstairs and explain everything to the amusement of the staff, who they didn't seem to understand that either. And they were like, oh, what do you mean there's someone in the room? I was like, there's someone in the room, like there's stuff's there, like there's stuff in the room, there's someone in the room. I don't know what you want me to say to you. So eventually we got our key sorted, and I was getting a bit worried because I really wanted to see Moonraker, and I was worried that we'd miss, because it's only a half-hour set and it's not really that long. And I thought by the time we get over to, it's not that far from the exchange, but like, I don't know, it was like trying to walk through Bristol on a Saturday afternoon isn't the easiest thing to do. So well, luckily we got there, but it was a massive arseache at the start when we were tired.
Yeah, that sounds really, really stressful. I couldn't be bothered with dealing with that.
Yeah, that was it, because I was in it like, when the machine kind of went a bit funny. I was like, oh, fuck's sake, because I get kind of a bit annoyed with when technology doesn't work, because I'm like, well, it should work. That's the point of it. Like, it's so things don't go wrong. And then when it does, I'm like, well, I'm very kind of like, I'm not lenient at all. I get kind of cross with it quite quickly. Like if it's a person that kind of cocks up, it's like, it's all right, it's a person. But with technology, I get annoyed.
There's a lot less grey area with technology, isn't there? It's either it's good or it's broken. There's no in between.
Exactly, yeah. And then like that kind of bothered me. And then having to explain to the staff multiple times what had happened, even though they were right there, bothered me. And then going up to the top of the hotel, I'm scared of heights, but that's fine. Going into a room where there's someone bothered me, and then it was like warm. I was tired. I just really wanted a pint as well. And I was worried about being late. So just everything was kind of like bothering me. But we got there in the end. Once I was at the exchange, it was okay. But I was kind of like, oh, I'm going to miss them. I don't want to miss them because it was their first European gig, wasn't it?
It's their only European gig.
Their only one.
Yeah.
Christ. Okay. Wow. Glad I didn't miss it. Then.
They literally only came over and played that show and just hung out all weekend.
Really? I didn't. Okay. All right. So they're not playing Hamburg or anything.
No, it's literally just did Bristol.
Oh, Christ. Okay. I thought they were going to Germany as well.
Yeah. So should we explain like the layout of the exchange, I guess, for people who haven't been there? So I guess you go in and there's like a cafe bar area. It's more of a cafe during the day. There's basically a bar and sort of merch area for the festival. Then you've got the main room on that floor, which I think is about 250, 300 capacity.
I think it's 250,
Yeah, and then downstairs there's a basement room, which is about 60 capacity.
Yeah.
So, and once that gets full, Unlucky, you should have got there early, I guess. And then obviously upstairs you've got specialist subject records, which I was quite good at. I was a very good boy. Not as well behaved as you, but
yeah. I just couldn't be bothered. I kind of like worked my way around. I was like, oh, I don't know. I was really tired. It was like the next day. I was like, oh, I can't be asked.
Fair enough. But so did you miss the start then because of all your hotel kerfuffles?
Yeah. We got there just in time for Moonraker.
Well, you missed quite a chunk then.
Yeah, we missed 2, I think. Well, no,
4.
2, maybe 3 or 4. Yeah.
4. So I've got to do a lot of talking now, I guess. Cool. So
I'll kind of say, yeah.
Thank you. So Hassan of Triple Sunday opened the show, which was nice. He was a late addition because of all the dropouts. Like Triple Sunday were playing their own gig or they were supporting Chewy in Bristol the same day.
Yeah.
Hassan, I guess, did them a bit of a favour and got to Bristol a bit earlier and came and played it was advertised as a Lunar set, which is his like rap hip hop project, but he did play mostly Triple Sunday songs.
Okay.
Which is, I like Luna, but I love Triple Sunday, so that was fine by me. It was he did it on an electric guitar as well, which was rather than an acoustic. So it kind of was another like cool like interpretation of those songs. I really enjoy. I don't know if a lot of the people there really knew Triple Sunday.
Right.
I was like, obviously me and Emma were there, and like the Burnt Tapes were there, who obviously great powers for Triple Sunday, but as a room as a whole, I don't know. But but it was really good. And then Trophy Jump opened up the main stage, a band from Croatia, who I think literally did Reading and Bristol on their little trip to England. They're like an indie punk kind of like sing along kind of band. Their new album Feels is really, really good. They're a band I've been aware of and following for years, and it's cool to finally get to see them. Really, really good set, great sing-alongs. So like Phil Burnt Tapes, he sings on one of the songs on the album, Neon Lights I think it's called. So he got on stage to sing his part in the song, which was quite a cool thing.
Oh, nice.
And then sang his bit, then did a bit of a crowd surf and basically just jumped on the other members of Burnt Tapes and they lifted him up a bit, which was fun. And then another new addition, which was a really big highlight for me, Flinch played an acoustic set. Flinch is like a project from someone from Scotland called Beth Black, who was in bands 10 AM and Slow Light and probably about 16 others. She's one of those people who's in 100 bands. really talented though. Like Flinch is like a really quiet, like emo kind of band. Well, it's a full band now, but it started as her solo project. And I was kind of intrigued to see how well it would go down because it is quite a quiet sounding music. And it was down in the basement, and if there's a load of people just catching up and talking through the set, that would have been annoying. But everyone was really, really super like quiet and respectful and listening, and it was just really, really cool. And like it felt like one of these like the first time I got to see her play those songs live, and it was just really cool, like an experience to see it, if that makes any sense. Like it's hard.
Yeah,
I explained it much better in the written form of this, which will be out. Or could be out now, will be out soon. look on the website. Yeah, but that was really cool to see her. Like she was a late addition. She just happened to be driving Goodbye Blue Monday on their tour. So when they were short, she said, "Hey, I can step in," and worked out well for everyone, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then the Gats played on the main stage. I don't really know a lot about them, but they seem pretty cool. And then Lara arrived, and I can stop talking.
Hello. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a drink.
Yeah, we turned up. We got to just in time for Moonraker, so that was really good. We were at the back, but it was quite full down there for well, we were in the basement, so it's only a 60 capacity, but we were at the back. I think we got there relatively in time for it, but we kind of stayed at the back because it was like quite warm and hot down there, so we stayed at the back is where the door is. So but yeah, it was quite, I couldn't see very much because I'm only about 5'4" and everyone else is taller than that that was in front of me. But yeah, it was really good. I've only really like heard Moonraker maybe a couple of weeks ago for the first time properly when I was looking through the lineup again for the festival, and yeah, I really liked them. So I thought they were really fun. Really fun to watch live. Good energy.
Yeah, they're kind of like their sound is kind of sort of Lawrence Armsy with the Nick's vocals. And they just had a lot of, like, I was quite down the front because I was really excited to see them.
Yeah.
And I was convinced the whole like time they weren't going to come after all these other American bands dropped out. It's only when I saw them like on a plane and then land in England, I was like, shit, they're here. Excellent. They are going to play. Yeah, because me and Matt, like, we just joke that we're the Moonraker UK fan club, and we were sort of both stood like down the front together, like watching it, and like it's only him, the only other person I know who was aware of Moonraker. So it was cool to watch them with him as well for like their first show in England.
That's nice.
Yeah, and like the tapes were down the front. It was just a really good time. And I met a couple of them afterwards. I let David, their drummer, I sort of was friends with, or I'm friends with on Facebook. I was cool to meet him for the first time. Really lovely chap. Yeah. And Nick, I brought a record of, and yeah, we had a chat about coins and how weird Japanese money is. So that was nice. Nick was sort of saying about he didn't know how much like English people drunk or like British people drunk. And I was like, you're talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah, definitely the wrong person.
But yeah, they were just like really like they hung out all weekend, had a great time. Just like really seemed really happy to be there, and it felt like they were very sort of welcomed, and
yeah, definitely.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
but they did manage to get over, and hopefully it won't be the last time.
Yeah,
I'd imagine they sort of spent a lot of money on this trip though, and it won't be a
yeah, it couldn't have been cheap, innit?
No, I made sure I brought a record to help them out.
Yeah, I did as well. I wanted to buy more, but it was cash only, and I don't really carry cash. So I got one record, but I wanted to buy both records and get a t-shirt, but I don't know Bristol well enough to go and get a cash. I
don't think there is a cash machine anywhere near the exchange, which should have offered to PayPal them.
Yeah, you're right. I should have actually. I didn't think of that. Next time.
Yeah. It was really cool to see them. We shouldn't just gush over just that band the whole time. But I could.
Yeah.
So who did you see next?
Well, we went to get some food then, and we didn't get back till I think the next one was Hell's Ditch, I think. So
you missed another big chunk.
Yeah, sorry, Carl. This is my plan all along.
You're making me do all the work. So
in fact, I didn't come back until the next day.
Yeah. Really? Don't tell me that. No, Burn Tapes played. You were at Burn Tapes.
And Irish Handcuffs.
Yeah. So All Better were on the main stage. I haven't seen them for a few years. I feel like they've progressed quite a bit. They're like a cleaner pop punk band or sort of that kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by cleaner pop punk band?
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean. I've written the same for Weather States actually.
Yeah. And they've just released a new album and they sounded quite good. Like I enjoyed it, but I also was very aware that Goodbye Blue Monday were on next downstairs, and I wanted to make sure I got a good spot. And I feel like I maybe left too long because I got back down to the basement and it was absolutely rammed.
Was it?
Absolutely rammed. Like, we got about halfway in and then sort of couldn't get anywhere closer to the front. But
Oh, wow.
I could see well enough, so it was all right. But yeah, Goodbye Blue Monday, I think, are up there with the best bands in the world.
Yeah.
And just best people as well. Yeah, played a really good set. Played like all the classics, I suppose, from the 2 EPs. They played some new songs. They're on there. I'm assuming I can talk about this. They spoke about it at the gig. So they've written a 16-minute long song there for their new album, and they played a bit of that at the gig, and Graham their singer sent me a demo of the 16-minute long song. Oh, it must be 2 or 3 years ago now, and I was just so keen to hear the recorded version, and I was unsure if they were going to actually put it on the album or not. So it's cool to hear that they are, and I cannot wait for that album.
When does it due? Do you know?
Well, they're in the process of recording it, so how long is a piece of string?
Yeah.
I'd imagine end of year, beginning of next.
Yeah.
I guess they're going to try and put it on vinyl, and obviously the wait times for vinyl are
it's wild, isn't it?
Ridiculous. So who knows? But we've been waiting for a few years. I'm happy to wait as long as they need, because don't rush it. It'll be good.
That's it.
Yeah, they hung out most of Saturday, and they have this band that only really, really a really, really good band, but they're also really, really lovely people.
Yeah.
Got to chat and hang out with them over the weekend. Sort of Graham come and said goodbye and gave us a hug, but they had to leave in the evening to get down to London for they're staying in London for the show the next night.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the best band and best people. And if you don't know Goodbye Blue Monday yet, what are you doing? Get on that, because they're going to be huge if they want to be. So who was next? We had so Suits Bright played next, who I was as a contrast to Goodbye Blue Monday. I found them quite hard to get into. I like Suits Bright, but where they're a softer indie sort of sounding band,
right?
And Goodbye Blue Monday are quite raucous and in your face, and so it was a weird contrast between the thing. And I got so hot during the Goodbye Blue Monday set as well, because it gets quite warm in that basement.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's as warm as it was today, but
yeah. Oh my god, can you imagine if it was like this?
Yeah, so I was a bit but I struggled to get into Suits Bright as much as I would have liked, but they're doing a tour later this year, and I could go and see them then. Hopefully they're playing with OK Bye, who I really, really like and haven't seen. So
yeah.
And then was it Hell's Ditch next? Yes.
You
saw them. You can talk again.
Yes, I came to that one. I can't remember when I first heard Hell's Ditch. I don't know if it was on a playlist that CPRW put together, or whether it was I was kind of talking to, I think it's Jordan from K-Rod Records, about he was sending me some records to review, and I was looking through their discography, and I don't know whether that's where I first heard Hell's Ditch, but I heard the first song, Bacon Hearts, and I was just instantly I'll have some of that, thank you very much. Very catchy. It's kind of the more stuff that there's I listen to, it's more kind of indie pop punk kind of sound to it, I suppose. I find that some the sound isn't quite what you'd expect from the name, maybe, but that's fine. They were really good live. We got quite close to I think it was one of the only ones down the basement that we were actually quite close to the front to. It was really cool just having the singer on the floor, not on the stage, getting well in with the crowd. That was awesome.
Yeah, well, there were 6 of them, wasn't there?
Yeah, right. And then the guitarist ended. One of the guitarists ended up on the floor.
The stage in the exchange is 3 meters squared, if that. It's very small.
It is small.
So to get 6 of them down there was ambitious in itself.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was such a good atmosphere there. It was awesome. Yeah.
There was a nice moment. I thought there's an elderly chap who was
I was just going to ask about this.
My new hero. I'd love to know his story, but he was there the whole week. He was at everything I'd gone to. He was at. I went to everything, I think, and he was there I saw him. Yeah, just absolute legend. I don't know, but like he sort of had a little chair for him down the front that vanished, but like so he got down to the front, the chair wasn't there. Like Nick, their singer, like moved something off so he could sit on like an ampy thing, and then Tone of the Burnt Tapes went and found his chair and like literally within a minute, and like it's a really nice moment. I thought,
Yeah, it was
like a community helping each other out.
Yeah, it was really heartwarming to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he was loving it. He was rocking out to every band and like.
Yeah, he was great, and he was like, it was just like a textbook granddad look. He you know what I mean? Like he just had like, I don't know, he just could have been like anyone's granddad. He was so sweet, and he ended up with a tambourine at the end. It was Hell's Ditch with a tambourine, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. I ended up with it at one point and was just. I'm not very good at tambourine, but
you did a great job, Carl.
Thank you. I was like, how does it make noise? Why can't I hear anything of this? But I really enjoyed Hell's Ditch, and Emma, it was her first time seeing them.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, she really, really enjoyed them and is debating going to see them at Hamburg because they're playing Hamburg. I think they're one or two bands that are crossing over to do both festivals this year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they'll be over in Hamburg. So
I mean, the fest as well.
They played. I can't remember. They played MPF. That's where I first saw them.
Oh, okay.
They're about everywhere there. Like their singer Nick used to be in River Jumpers, who are a band I love, and I think a lot of the other members are in various sort of punk bands throughout, like the UK over time. So I guess obviously they've got connections. So that's.
Yeah, Nikki really liked them, which was a nice kind of victory for me. So. Yeah.
They're really. I mean, they started just before COVID as well, so they're one of the ones.
Oh, they're quite new.
Yeah, they kind of, I guess, stalled a bit and haven't been able to do the shows they would have done.
Yeah.
But it's good to see them getting out there now, and I'm assuming they're going to tour quite a lot. So.
Yeah, hopefully. They were awesome.
Look out for them because they're a really, really good band, good live band, good on record. Just Hell's Ditch are going to be one to.
Yeah.
To keep an eye on, and then.
Definitely agree.
It was after this point, I think I popped in and out of bands, but I kind of slowed down a bit. I got talking to people at sort of lunchtime, had some peanuts. And then the next band I saw was Fight Milk.
Okay, I didn't. Irish Handcuffs is my next one.
Yeah, so Fight Milk, they're a London band, like indie sort of punk.
Yeah. And
like John, who used to do some stuff for Colin's Punk Rock World, is in 1 Million Motors, awesome band, check them out. He recommended them to us, and like I'd listened to them a bit, but I thought, okay, they're quite cool. And then seeing them live, they were one of those sort of times when it's like, oh shit, this is a really, really good band. Okay. I really good presence on stage, really good songs, and yeah, like I wish I'd sort of known them a bit sooner. We'll sort of look to get their album as well on the vinyl.
On the
vinyl, when I stopped spending money going to places that's top of the list of vinyls to get.
Yeah.
Probably should have picked it up on a Friday or Saturday, really, but I did not. But yeah, really, really cool. But there was a bit I seen on Twitter afterwards. There's someone they sort of said like they had a really, really great time at Bristol Booze Cruise, but there was a couple of dickheads in the crowd who shouted some sort of I can't say this word, misogynistic.
You got it.
Thank you. Things at the singer Lily, which was obviously just uncalled for. It's not needed, and that's a shame that that's happened. Yeah, it shouldn't happen at gigs. It shouldn't happen in society. Yeah, if that's the sort of thing you do, fuck off. Don't do it anymore.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's really like out of. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but it's kind of like we're over that now. Like it's quite like an old-fashioned thing to do nowadays.
It's like, 2022.
Yeah.
It's like even if you do have those thoughts, it's so much easier just not to say them.
Just don't say it. Exactly.
It's just so yeah. So I think hopefully the exchange will manage to get them on camera and they won't be allowed back in. But
the exchange is like the worst place to do it as well. Not that there's any good place to do it, but it's like
it's not
really.
Yeah, it's not the. It's not the. I mean, nowhere's a place, but like the environment, actually the amount of sort of queer punk bands that were playing as well, and
it's
just just unnecessary. So
It
hopefully,
doesn't reflect what kind of like what it what the whole
there were posters
like.
everywhere, sort of saying no misogyny, no racism, no homophobia, all the stuff. Like, just don't be dickheads. Yeah, so that was a shame
Don't be
that
an
happened,
asshole.
but Fike Milk put on a bloody brilliant show regardless. So fair play to them. They were really cool. And then Irish Handcuffs are up next.
Oh my god, they were awesome, weren't they?
I really enjoyed
good.
them. Yeah.
No, they were really, really good live. It was absolutely packed again down in the basement. I was boiling. I hadn't heard much of them, only a little bit. I think maybe either you suggested some stuff or I just listened to them based off the lineup. Reminded me a lot of Face to Face, but I don't know if that's kind of like a thing or whether I just had like too many beers by that point.
You had some beers.
I had quite a few beers. It was they were really, really good. And again, the whole atmosphere for the whole weekend was awesome. I mean, I could say it for everyone I went to. But when they played the Alkaline Trio cover, that it went absolutely bonkers there, didn't it? It went wild. So
I'd still, because I was quite near the front and I could see the set list.
Oh, okay.
And it literally just said Alkaline Trio. And I was like,
you didn't even know which song it was.
I didn't know which song it was. I was stood next to Dan and Jess, like the vegan punks.
Yeah.
And I just sort of said, it says Alkaline Trio on that. And then they started playing Mercy Me, and then all of a sudden Dan number 2 jumps on me and starts singing a chorus with me and disappeared again. I was like, what's going on? But it was a really cool moment. And Irish Handcuffs are a really good band. They remind me a lot of the Loved Ones.
Yes.
Dave Hawes' new old band. They're a
great band.
I really wish they'd do some reunion shows.
Yeah, definitely.
But they were really, really good. I'm just looking at the time. We're going to see if we can get day one done before it runs out.
Shit. Oh God, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry. So did you see much of Nervous?
No.
Okay.
I didn't see any of Nervous.
I saw about 3 or 4 songs, and Nervous are always really, really good.
Mm.
And they're one of those bands I really should go and see longer sets of, because I always enjoy them when I do see them.
But they seem to play a lot, so it's
I think they're due to release an album as well, so I assume they'll try and tour around it. So
probably, yeah.
I'm sure they'll do a big London show, and I'll probably try and go, and then it'll be a Saturday or a day I can't make, because that's the way life goes. But so downstairs, I think the band we were probably most excited for the whole day was Burnt Tapes.
Yeah.
Your first time seeing them, so I'll let you.
It is. And I saw Tone just before. I can't remember what time, but I saw him like in the afternoon. He's so lovely, isn't he? They're just such nice boys. But yeah, again, the atmosphere was absolutely rammed in there, wasn't it? It was absolutely rammed. I could hardly see anything. I think I could just see Toad off the side of the stage, and that was it. Again, because I was like at the back because it was so hot. But yeah, first time seeing them, they were absolutely brilliant. I woke up the next day like in the hotel room, where I was like, I couldn't speak because my voice was so hoarse, and I know that was from a mixture of the Alkaline Trio cover, but I'm pretty much the whole Burnt Tape set, because it was just like I was screaming the words out, even if I didn't know the words. I was just making noise. Oh, they were brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Well, they're the other best band in the world at the moment.
They're so good. I can't wait to see them again in October.
I was a bit disappointed when I saw like the lineup, like them, and like the same with Moonraker and Goodbye Blue Monday as well, that they were in the basement.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But then it kind of, I think that added to their set, that they were in like a confined space to get the sing-alongs, and because I was right down the front like a lunatic. Like literally stood right in front of Tone and Phil, like shouting words back at them, fist in the air.
That's it.
Yeah, it's just the best band. Like I've seen my third time seeing them this year.
Oh, nice.
They've got to be up there with like the bands I've seen more times than anyone at this point.
Yeah,
but they're always really, really good. Like they're always a highlight. Just they like Dirt Roads, which is my favorite Burnt Tape song, probably. They didn't used to play that one so much, like after the album came out, and they've now like seems to become part of their set list, like, which I'm very, very happy about, because I love that song so much. It was nice to be in a room full of people as well singing the words to that song and every song. Then they finished with a unplanned cover of the Menzingers' I Don't Want to Be an Asshole Anymore as well.
Such a
which
tune.
was fun. Yeah, because they weren't supposed to play for as long as they did, and hopefully they didn't get any shit. I'm sure they didn't.
Nah.
But yeah, so that was
Yeah,
really, really
when they
good.
played is this song Greekwood? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite one. When they started that one, I was like, right, I'm off down. I kind of left Nikki at the back. I kind of ended up halfway down the basement. Just like it was yeah, it was brilliant.
It was really
Can't
like
wait to see again.
Dad did a bit of crowd surfing.
Yeah, that's the only photo I've got of the set. Is and Dan's right in the middle of it.
Yeah, like it's quite funny because like the basement's got quite a low ceiling.
Yeah.
And Dan is, I think, 6'3"-ish.
Yeah, I always forget how tall he is.
He's a tall lad, yeah. That's because we only ever see him sitting down.
That's what I said. Those are the exact words I said to him when I saw him again on the weekend. I'm like, Dan, I always forget how tall he was because I always see you sitting down.
Yeah. So it's just quite, and he's quite long-limbed as well. So it's just quite funny seeing him in the sky, like touching the ceiling. And yeah. So the burnt tapes, we failed it. Because I do want to talk about Menstrual Cramps, who headlined the whole thing. So we're just to do that in the second part, which is coming in a second. Yeah, I haven't got an advert. See you in a second.
Yeah.
Hello, we're back. Yeah, we're still talking about what are we talking about? Bristol Booze Cruise. Still talking about the Saturday. So we got to the Menstrual Cramps, who headlined on the main stage. Again, Lara didn't see this band.
I'd gone home because I'm old and I was up early.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah, it's my third time seeing the Menstrual Cramps this year after never seeing them before. Like the first time I saw them was at the Exchange headlining Fishstock in March. So it was kind of nice to see him do it there again, because that was just one of the best sets I've seen all year. And this one was just as, I don't know, just as good as the right word, but it was still very, very good. Like the crowd was a bit smaller than at Fishstock, but Chewy were also playing in Bristol that night, so I think that might have played a part to it. But yeah, it didn't stop the band putting on a really good show. Like I think 1 or 2 songs in, the guitarist guitar died or string broke, something happened, and he needed a new guitar. So Dan ran down to the basement and stole one off the burnt tapes from the sound of it.
You know, that the main stage must be like cursed or something, because like a lot of bands had a lot of problems.
Yeah, must
on
be.
that stage.
But yeah, like the Menstrual Cramps are really, really good. Their messages are obviously really, really important. They talk a lot about like misogyny, like sexual consent, racism, like Nazi punks, and but they do it in a really fun way for the majority of the songs. So it's quite cheerful, like sound their sets, which is, when you talk about their things, it feels weird to say that, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah, just really, really cool. Like their front person, I believe their name is Amelia. I may be wrong. I think it is, but yeah, like incredible, like loads of energy, dancing around, a lot of fun. Like plays the part, sounds wrong because it sounds forced, but like as a front person is everything you probably want.
Very good front person.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Like I was watching them because I've sort of seen them a couple of times now. I know more of what to expect from what they do. So I think I watched it in more of like an analytical way, and I sort of listened to the lyrics a lot more. And it's like I feel like they're the kind of band that this country really, really needs right now.
Okay.
But also I wish that like the mainstream alternative press, if you know what I mean by that. It's a contrasting thing, but like the bigger like you likes of your Kerangs or your rock sounds or whatever. Is NME still a thing? Them as well.
I don't know. I was just going to ask, is rock sound still a thing? That's like
no idea, but they're
nostalgia.
they're things I've heard of.
Yeah,
but they should be a band that those magazines or publications or journalists are pushing. I think to like even like when like the Guardian or whatever, or like the Metro or some like independent newspapers like talk about like alternative bands. They get behind some, which is cool that they're getting behind them, but I feel like Menstrual Cramps should be in that sort of bracket of like bands that these presses are really pushing to the front. But I wonder if they won't, because they're a bit more dangerous, the right word. They're more outspoken,
edgy, maybe.
Edgy, yeah. Like Because like when Amelia performs, she gets very. Oh, this is really awkward for me to describe because I'm such a prude. But like I was like, oh, I don't know if sexual's the right word, but like it's very like touchy and like theatrical in the way she does things.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I don't, hopefully I've explained that well. I don't know if I
Yeah,
have.
I suppose then in that way, like maybe they're not as accessible as other bands in the sense that like they are accessible, but I suppose not for the mainstream kind of people. I suppose it's still a little bit too much.
They go
there's
like edgy, and then they go a bit further than the edge, I guess. But
yeah,
I think they're such an important band, and like hopefully they do get sort of more attention if they deserve it. One, they're a really good band. Two, the messages, which is you've got a fan. I'm well jealous. But arguably, I got distracted by your fan. But yeah, Menstrual Cramps smashed it. It was a really good way to end the night. Like Emma and I, they hung around in their bar for sort of 20 minutes, half hour, talking to people, catching up. It was really nice.
Nice.
It was just a massive friends fest. It was really cool. And then we went back to the hotel and slept. Oh, I showered because I was a sweaty mess.
Yeah. Was
it
raining when you left? It was absolutely pissing down when we left.
No, because we were hanging out in the bar. Then I noticed it stopped raining. I was like, Emma, let's go now.
Yeah, it was horrendous. It was like sideways rain walking back.
That was such a weird contrast in the weather. So how hot it was on the Friday, and then the weekend was quite damp. And then
Monday was lovely again.
Yeah, we travelled back. And sweated a lot.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. So Sunday. Did you get there for the start of Sunday?
Was La Moxie the first?
La Moxie was the first.
Yeah, I was there for that. As soon as I saw that Lauren was playing, I was like, got to make sure I'm there. Because I first saw La Moxie. I don't know if it was their first ever gig or not. I think it might have been. We saw them support Bomb Pops in 2019 in Birmingham. And I've been kind of following them since. And me and Lauren sent a couple of messages back and forth on Instagram. So I kind of wanted to go and support her as well. They're kind of like a catchy, well, she did an acoustic set. And I really enjoyed how the songs sounded on acoustic because she's got such a beautiful voice. She's got such a great singing voice. And I think that without the rest of the band, you could really hear like the quality of her voice then as well. Obviously, they sound different without the band, but they're equally just as good on acoustic. Kind of like pop punk kind of energy, I suppose. I know that she's saying her favorite band's Against Me, but I know she loves like Blink-182 and stuff like that as well. So, and that kind of comes through in the music. So yeah, she did an Against Me cover as well.
Yeah, she did Fresh Unreal, I think.
Yeah, she did a really good job. She said she was really nervous. I saw her afterwards. She was like, I'm usually like 4 beers in by the time I get up on stage, so I was really nervous. Oh, she's so lovely. I thought she was absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Really good start to the day.
Yeah, they're not familiar with La Moxie at all. Obviously then doing acoustic songs I had even less, but she had a really, really good voice, and the Against Me cover was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, then upstairs next was Making Friends, who were another newer addition to the lineup.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because when I came in and I saw you and Emma, I was like, I'm going to go see La Moxie, then I'm going to go and check out Specialist Subject. And you were both like, no, you have to go and see Making Friends. And I was like, I don't remember them being announced. So yeah, it's fine. I'm glad I listened to you. But what a chaotic set.
Yeah, that's so the singer Ryan, he also used to be in a band called Fast Fade, who sort of similar sort of skate punk sound, a bit Captain Everything sounding.
Yeah, I thought,
which is why I think you'd like them, because I know you like everything.
They remind me a bit of like definitely, and I kind of got No Effects Frenzal Rom vibes as well a little bit with them. Absolutely, what a lot of it was so much fun.
Yeah,
it was brilliant.
Really, really good band. Like loads of fun. Like I really like Making Friends. I like Ryan's last Fast Fade as well.
Yeah.
They're doing a split with a band called Shackleford. You know Shackleford?
Oh yes.
Yeah, which is coming out on Init Records soonish.
I think the drummer was wearing a Shackleford t-shirt.
Might have been.
Yeah, that stands out to me.
Might have been, but yeah, Ryan's all his gear kept breaking throughout the set, which made it funny. But I thought they handled that really well, though.
Oh, he was such a good. They're great, but all of them are really good. He was such a good frontman, though.
Yeah.
Like some people are just kind of born to be that sort of character. Like he was perfect. Like he handled it so well. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
it was so entertaining.
Such a good way to open that stage as well. It's just
Yeah.
lots of fun.
Yeah, it was excellent. They were brilliant.
Yeah. Then did you go see Breakfast with Bears?
No, did we get food? I think we went to get food.
Okay. Well, I saw a bit of Breakfast with Bears. They also had actually a guitar, which is a string broke.
Oh wow, okay.
So they were another newer edition. I didn't know much about them, but I liked the sound. I did have a bit of a hard time connecting with them though, because their lead singer, for reasons I don't know, it might just be his figure. He might be shy. I don't know, but he spent like most of the time facing the band rather than facing the crowd.
Okay.
And I found that sort of harder than to connect with the the whole sort of thing in general.
Yeah.
But they sound good though. I check them out some more. Like they're definitely not a bad band. But yeah, for me personally, I just found it a bit harder to connect because I mean it might have also been because I don't know the songs.
Yeah, could be.
But I just found that a bit odd how he kept not looking at the crowd.
Yeah.
But that just might be a swing. I don't know. It's my first time seeing, my first time listening. So yeah. Then Cherub were next on the upstairs, who were one of my highlights of the day. It's like Irish pop punk band, really, really good. They started when we got in there, and they were so much fun. Like upbeat. Just the old stage banter was just brilliant. There's lots of fun. Didn't feel rehearsed either though. It was just 3 friends having a good time playing music they love. And what more could you ask for? They're another band. I feel like they should be huge.
Yeah.
So good. Like the singer has a great voice, excellent harmonies. It was wonderful. And I hope to see them again because they're in Ireland. I don't know. Derry, I believe they said they were from.
Yeah.
I don't know how often they can get over to England because they said they had to. They played at 4 o'clock, 4:30, something like that. Then after their set, they had to rush to drive up to Liverpool to get the ferry home for like 10:30.
Whoa! Well, that is a journey.
Yeah, so I don't know how often they can get over here because that sounds like a lot of faff.
Yeah, it does.
Not that I know where Derry is in sort of Ireland, but I'm assuming it's not just getting off the boat and going home. There's probably a drive after that as well.
Like going to a boat stop outside your house. Yeah.
That'd be
it's
handy.
cool, like on buses where you press the button.
Yeah.
It's like I'll just get off here. It's all right.
I feel like that should be a thing on like late night trains. The amount of times I go through platforms and it feels like no one gets on or off.
Yeah.
That should be a thing on trains.
Good point. Yeah.
But we digress. Yeah, Cherub were really, really good. And then Regal Cheer were downstairs next to a band I really, really wanted to see. They're a 2-piece from Brighton, who I think I was watching them because I was always struggled with how to describe their sound, but
yeah,
they remind me a lot of Bangers, if you know Bangers.
I don't think so.
No, they were like a Specialist Subject, and their I guess part owner Andrew Horn, he was their bassist.
Okay, yeah.
And so Regal Cheer have that kind. Did you watch Regal Cheer?
Nope.
Oh, you're useless, Lara.
I know. I mean, I'm not gone.
Yeah, but they were really, really cool. Just quite shouty vocals. They're just a guitarist and a drummer, both sung, and I love them. They're playing Washed Out Festival in Brighton whenever that's happening. I want to say September. Sounds about so much stuff this year. Oh, well, there's so much stuff every year, but there's just so much stuff I'm trying to do this year.
You need a wall chart or something.
I do. I have a spreadsheet. It's just not open. I have a spreadsheet for everything because I'm cool. But yeah, Regal Cheer were really, really cool. I was really happy to finally get to see them, and hopefully I can see them again soon before September. And then, who was the next band you saw?
Weather State, which I think we're after.
Yeah,
we saw Weather State. I wanted to see them. Again, I hadn't heard them or of them at all until I was putting a playlist together for the weekend. And I can't remember the first song I heard from them, but do you ever listen to a song and you just need the first like 10 seconds and then it's like, yep, no, I'm going, that's fine, I don't need to hear anymore. Yep. I want to go to this regardless. That was kind of that sort of thing. Really tight, clean pop punk. They kind of all had their shit together when they were playing. Had a few kind of guitar and bass changes as well. I think they were really good. The songs are really good, catchy pop punk stuff. Sometimes a little bit of like a grungy kind of feel to it as well. Not much stage banter, but obviously not all bands do that. But I suppose that meant that they could just get on and play the music. So yeah, they were well worth seeing. Really catchy, and I still listen to them now. So really good. Yeah,
excellent.
And we just did food, so I was like in a better mood anyway.
And like Say It Anywhere or Next in the Basement.
Yeah, we went down to see them, which was weird because so the day before, on the Saturday, I was like, I can hear a Welsh accent, which isn't totally weird because obviously you were just in Bristol. I looked over and I was like, I'm sure that's the singer from Save Your Breath. And they were like, about 10 years ago, they broke up 2015. Me and Nikki went to the last ever gig in Cardiff. They were kind of like, do you remember there was in, let's say like 2010-ish, there was kind of an explosion of like pop punk bands with like breakdowns in it. They were kind of part of that, and they were based around Cardiff and Newport. Really good band. And then the singer then ended up, I don't know if he owned it or what, but he ended up being a tattoo artist in Cardiff. But I saw him there and I was like, I said to Nikki, is that the guy from Save Your Breath? And it was, obviously. So then the next day we went down to Say It Anyway, and we got in, we were at the back again. And I couldn't see, because the singer was on the floor. I think his name's Chris. He was on the floor singing. And I was like, I couldn't see over it because I was at the back. I couldn't see over everyone. But then Nikki was on his like tiptoes looking over because Nikki's only like 5'9" or something. And he's like, I'm sure that's the guy from Save Your Breath. This is his new band. And yeah, it was. We had no idea. His voice sounds exactly like it did in Save Your Breath. So yeah, that was cool, catchy, good fun.
Yeah,
and you could tell he's been a front man in a relatively kind of biggish band. Like he was quite like, I don't know, like big front man energy.
Yeah, a lot of confidence.
A lot of confidence, yeah.
Knew what he was doing, yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Looked at the crowd.
Yeah, and he got the crowd involved as well. You know, there was a lot of kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
But again, that comes from like years of doing it. And I know that I think they toured with like biggish bands. I'm pretty sure they toured with Newfound Glory and stuff. So
oh wow,
he's got the history, like, or not the history, the experience behind him, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
It's interesting. Obviously, you have the connection with that band because of him. Whereas the rest of the band used to be in the Run Up, who were one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
And they were a lot sort of gruffer than what Say It Anyway are.
Yeah.
And so I suppose I can say it's like I prefer like a gruffer, raspier vocal, and like so when Say It Anywhere came along, I was like, oh, let's see what the Run Up Boys, their new thing is, and where the vocal is a lot cleaner, a lot more produced, poppier. I struggled with it a bit. I was like, oh, because I've got to say to myself, this isn't the Run Up, even though it's like 80% of the members were in the Run Up. This is not that band anymore. So then seeing them live made me like, I enjoyed that a lot more than I thought I would.
Good, yeah.
So that was a nice like surprise, I guess. I know like those guys are really talented, really good songwriters. So but then see really good performers as well. Like, and they're a band, you look at them and you can see how much fun they're having. They enjoy doing it. They enjoy playing together, and I appreciate that. Yeah,
it reflects, doesn't it? Definitely.
Yeah, fair play for Daniel as well for playing a set when he had the hardest job like all weekend of like running the festival and all the stress. Oh my God.
Oh, fair play.
All the stress that's obviously come along with putting it all together because of what we spoke about in the preview podcast. I imagine that was also quite a nice release for him as well, to just get up and do that and not have to think about anything else. And
yeah,
but yeah, so Say It Anyway, they did impress me. I went in unsure, But yeah, fair play, smashed it. Good set.
Awesome.
Excellent set.
Yeah.
And then, to be honest, like the next part of the day, there was a bit of a lull for me. Like,
yeah,
I think I just fatigue started to hit set, and I went to see bits of the next three bands. It was like I Feel Fine, Arguer, and Hit Like a Girl. Like I only saw like bits of them there, and I enjoyed them well enough. But I was also I thought I needed some fresh air. I needed a bit of a rest.
You'd hit like a wall.
I sort of went in and went out, but I enjoyed everything from what I heard from all three bands, and you should definitely check them out. But yeah, the next band I watched the whole set for was Dangers of Love.
Yeah.
Who were playing their last ever show. They're a London-based band. I'd somehow never seen them before, even though they are in London. It's one of those. But yeah, I guess they're sort of an indie, garagey punk kind of band. Did you see them?
No, we'd gone by then.
Had you gone home by then? Oh, I think there was a point where I said to Emma, have you seen Lara lately?
Yeah, we were. So it was after Say It Anyway. We were outside and we saw you guys, and we saw Brie as well. And we had a chat. And then I was like, I'm going to wait to see how long, like, because I didn't want to interrupt the UNM chatting. And I was like, we needed like 5 minutes break, like you did as well. So we were outside and it was raining. And then I think we just got to the point where we were like, Suki's been on her own like since yesterday morning. I didn't think to get anyone in to see to it. So we were like, oh, should we go now? We didn't want to, but yeah, we kind of thought by the time we get home, it's a 2-hour drive. So we have to get back because we got a cat. So
yeah, I'm glad you sort of put the context that Suki is a cat.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we haven't got a child. Oh no, that's the other one. Yeah, we left Suki on her own from but she was fine. She was in a bit of a, I thought she was going to be in a bit of a mood, but yeah, she didn't hold it against us or anything. She was quite chill. So
that's good. Yeah. That's good for the future for when if you want to go away.
Yeah, usually get my sister in to check, but I know my sister was having a house party the night before, and she would have not been in any state to drive over to see Suki. So yeah, so we decided to come back and see Suki. So we got home probably I don't know, like 7 maybe. No, way after that. 8, 9 maybe. I can't remember what time everything started. It was late enough.
Yeah. So Lara and Cat updates.
I went home. Sorry, Cat. Yeah. Long story short.
But yeah, Out of Love's last ever show. Yeah, they were really, really cool. I'm kind of disappointed I hadn't sort of checked them out sooner. Really, they didn't do a lot of chatting during the set. They just blew through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first half of the set, they sort of played some sort of slower songs. Then the second half, they like really picked it up, and that sort of gave me a bit more energy for the rest of the night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're really, really cool. I can't say a lot about the songs, so I don't know them that well. They sort of asked for time because he had like 2 songs left or something, and then the older fella, the hero legend man that he was, he was sort of sat watching them and really, really enjoying it, like tapping on his legs and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, you've got 10 minutes left." He was like disappointed they were finishing early because he was loving it.
If anyone listening or ever knows anything about that guy, can like people send us information, because he's just what a hero.
Yeah, like I said to my friend, like when I get to his age, I hope I'm still doing stuff like this. Yeah. I imagine I'll be grumpy and cynical and never want to leave the house and see anyone. I'm almost like that now at 36.
Same.
Because people.
It was fantastic, and it was a really nice reflection of what the crowd was like. Yeah, it's just the way they were kind of. I saw the chair when Hell's Ditch were playing, the chair kind of making its way down the crowd for him to sit on. It was so sweet.
Yeah, it's really nice. I see a lady helping him up the stairs at one point as well, which was nice.
Oh, that's nice.
It's really cool. But yeah, so Dangers of Loves was getting so distracted.
Yeah,
their last set was, they smashed it. It was really cool. And then we went upstairs to see Future Teens, who came over from America. I'm not sure whereabouts in America, but I didn't know a lot about them. They were sort of dual vocal sort of band, kind of like mixtapes, I suppose.
Okay.
yeah, lots of fun. Like they sort of didn't take themselves too seriously, even though like again like the song context was some of them was like breakups and mental health and that kind of stuff. Yeah, lots of fun to watch. Like at one point, one of the guitarist's guitars strings broke, as was the way of the day, it seemed. So it might have been the heat. I don't know. Would heat affect guitar strings? Who knows?
Maybe
Maybe
things.
it affects me.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, like I sort of went down back to I went and got a drink or the toilet, so I did something and left a bit early. Then went down to the basement and was talking to the vegan punks again. Lovely people. Check out their website and eat their food. You have to make it first, though.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. Yeah, they need to open a restaurant. But yeah, and like, Emma came down after the set. She came in like wide-eyed. It's like, I love them. They're my new favorite band. So that was really nice that she'd found a new one, and their records are now on our want list on the Discogs. Yeah, so that was a nice surprise. And then the last band in the basement was Out of Love, who were one I was really looking forward to, and I really enjoyed. But there's the cat, like they had for some reason they had their own photographer, which fair enough, they want to get the cool snaps. But I found him like he got in the way quite a lot, and like I was trying to watch and he kept standing in front, and he was doing that thing where he was taking his photos and then sort of giving it like rocking out and stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
Which I think if there was a whole crowd doing it rather than a crowd of people who've been there a whole weekend and were knackered.
Yeah.
That was a bit annoying when there was another photographer, Dory, who did the whole weekend down the front for everyone. Yeah. They were there and they didn't get in the way once.
No, I mean half the time I didn't even know they were there.
So I don't know. This guy was it was a bit annoying. Like I was stood next to Brian, and I said to him afterwards, he was like, "Yeah." But Out of Love, they played really well. They're a really good band. I enjoyed the songs. I think they maybe suffered a bit from one Tiger's Jaw upstairs, who were apparently loved.
Yeah.
And then just, I guess, tiredness and fatigue as well, because when you compare the size of the crowd that Burnt Tapes had to the size of the crowd they had, it was a lot smaller, sadly. But I don't think it should be a reflection on the band, because they're a really good band. I think it was just one Tiger's Jaw upstairs, and two, it was that they were the second last band on, and everyone was knackered, and the basement was really warm.
And it was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday. Lara had a cat to look after.
A stupid cat to look after.
But yeah, Out of Love tour like played everywhere all the time, so just go see them, because they are a seriously good band. They're going to be one of those bands that, you know, when like the big bands come over, they're going to be one of those bands that always seem to be on the tour poster.
Okay, yeah.
But you'll get plenty of chance to see them, and you should. Just if the photographer could be less in the way, please. And then the final band were Tiger's Jaw, and like, to be perfectly honest, I know we're all about trying to be positive on the CPRW, but neither me or Emma are especially big fans of Tiger's Jaw.
Yeah.
So we kind of just stayed towards the room was absolutely rammed, to be fair.
I can imagine, yeah.
So me and Emma, I think, Emma and I, whatever the correct grammar is, who cares?
Who cares?
We were hung out at sort of back of the room, you know, got like that bench bit when you sort of walk in. So Emma stood on that so she could see, and I just sort of stood and then sat down for a little while because I was tired. But I think I don't like with Tiger's Jaw, like they're obviously a very good band and play their songs very well, and like a lot of people do love them and had a nice sing along to them. It's just not a band for me. It's just one of those. Not every band's for every person.
Yeah.
But I think I wanted to say to the end because I was there for everything else I should. But I think because I wasn't overly familiar with the songs, they didn't really talk much between the songs.
Okay.
Like it felt like it dragged a bit for me, but
yeah.
That's just a me thing. Everyone else.
No, sure. it happens, Colin. I mean, if like you don't know the songs, it does happen.
Yeah, but
it happens to me.
Yeah, and they like some of the they played the song June, which I do know because it was on a playlist, and that got a really good reception. And some other songs, like everyone else seemed to be really into it. So
yeah,
I think it was like a really good way for the festival to finish. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, but the Tiger's Jaw ended it. So they were most of the bands we saw. And any final thoughts on the weekend as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I've got to be honest, I thought it was a really good weekend, considering all the problems that they'd faced putting it together. There was a nice crowd there. And I think, the Exchange is a venue, it's a great venue, but I think the amount of people who did go, I think that was enough, because I found it was a bit, it could be a bit difficult trying to get into the bar in the switch over of bands, because it was like the traffic up, traffic down, and you have to kind of go through that traffic to go into the bar or to go to either stage or to go upstairs. So that kind of crossover point was a bit of a, like, trying to cross the road, but that was really my only feedback, I suppose. Generally, I think the quality of the music was excellent.
Yeah,
the bands were brilliant, and the logistics of it worked really well. Pretty much everyone finished on time. So there wasn't a lot missed if you wanted to go like you did, to go up and down and see everything. So yeah, it was great, really good. And I didn't go into it thinking, oh, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, because I know we both said on the last podcast not to. And I did get more excited the day or two before. But yeah, it was. I don't think you could tell that there were any, issues, because the quality was so good.
That was the thing. Like, I said to Daniel, like, I said to someone, like, it shows you don't have to have a load of American bands, or like international bands to put on a really, really good festival. You can do it. Like, the UK is
the quality is here.
It's overflowing with really, really good bands in all sorts of like punk genres. So it was kind of like the Replacements, I think, I don't know, saved the festival as much, because we still would have had a nice time regardless, but they really added to it in their own way. And it was like,
and
I think when they got announced, it was a really good, for me anyway, like what's the word? It's hell, I've forgotten English. My enthusiasm for the festival, like, sort of after all those bands got added, really went up. So before I was excited, but my excitement was more for just seeing a load of pals who I don't get to see very often. But then all those bands got added as well, and I was like, this is going to be a really, really good weekend. And I had a lovely time. I saw loads of friends. Got to see my mate Richard from Manchester. I only ever see at festivals. Same with Brian. And
first time Brian, actually.
Matisse as well, who came over from Holland. So just loads of really cool. Like, got to meet Moonraker, lovely guys.
They were really nice. And Lauren from the Moxie as well. It was really nice that she kind of like recognized me as well. I was like, because sometimes you think that people are going to recognize, because a lot of people I know off Instagram. So it's like, are they going to recognize me? Are they going to know who I am? Am I going to be like met with a blank stare? But yeah,
I had that when I was on the Saturday night. The chat was talking to me. It's like, I know you from somewhere. I was like, I don't want to be that guy and be like, I'm Colin from Colin's Punk Rock World, because I don't assume anyone has any idea what this is.
I just can't imagine you doing that.
I was like, New Cross Inn, because that's where I spend most of my time. And he's like, nah, Manchester Punk Festival, don't think so. I was like, the internet? I was like, yes. I was like, oh yeah, nice to meet you.
Dubious, the internet.
He was lovely. He said hello and said he'd like to read the reviews. So thank you for that. His name was Alex. I got someone's name.
Oh, well done.
I'm terrible at that. There's a chap I speak to all the time. I first spoke to him at Till the Fest when he sort of come and recognise me. Didn't get his name.
I think I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, I'm going to say this now and hope he listens. The next time I see him, he tells me his name. So, and like since then we spoke at quite a few gigs in London, and I don't know his name. I feel really bad. I don't know how to ask for it, so I'm using this medium and hopefully he listens to it. Next time you see me, please introduce yourself and tell me your name, and I'll write it down.
Take a pen and paper.
Yeah, sorry, because I don't know your name, but you're really nice. Yeah. So anyway, Bristol Booze Cruise was a really, really good time. Like with all the the build up and the stress, and fair play to Daniel for pulling it off in the end.
Yeah.
Like, he deserves many beers and rest after that, because like as we said before, like we were getting frustrated by it, all the changes and whatnot and what was going on, but for him having to deal with it and then probably also deal with people's frustration, because I would imagine people emailed a message and see like what the hell's going on.
So
thankfully
it couldn't have been easy.
No, it was a good. I don't know if he'll bother to do it again. Like if I was him, I wouldn't, to be perfectly honest, because who needs that kind of stress in life? But yeah, so thank you
Go
for
again
Daniel.
if they did.
Yeah, so thanks to Daniel for sort of persevering and getting it on,
Yeah.
and the rest of the Booze Cruise, like people, all the staff are really nice at the exchange. Cool
Oh,
security.
that was lovely. Yeah.
Like so, like the sound was always spot on. It was just a really like when it actually got to happen, it was a really well run event and
It was really well run.
Really great weekend. So
yeah,
if they do it again, hopefully they can.
I'll be there if they do.
Lara will be there. She might see more than like 5 bands this time.
Hey, I saw 9 bands.
Good effort.
8 bands.
Good effort. But so Bristol Booze Cruise was a success. As I say, the next podcast will be our review of Hamburg Booze Cruise with Robin and Brett. I assume they're up for doing it again. I haven't asked them yet. But I guess we'll finish with an advert for Level Up Festival, which is coming up on a weekend in July. I think, this is a time I should have prepared for myself, but let's do the internet quickly. Level Up Festival 2022 is happening on load faster internet, or don't load anything. Here we go. It is on the 22nd to the 24th July, New Cross Inn. It's a ska festival, which is the best kind of festival. And yeah, the lineup's packed. I said it before. Like the headliners, you've got JB Conspiracy, Call Me Malcolm, Popes of Chili Town, Andy B in the World, Random Hand, and Sonic Boom 6, and they're just headliners over the 3 days. And then
that's going to be wild.
Yep, Sonic Boom 6 and Random Hand on the same day is just mental. That's put together by B Sharp Promotions, El Topo Bookings, and Fishlock Promotions. It's coming up in about a month. At time of recording, it's New Cross Inn, South London. Come along, there are still tickets available. It's like, if you're a fan of ska punk, it's the best ska punk festival in the world.
In the world.
Probably. Come support. It's just, we call it Ska Punk Christmas. It's just a great time. Buy tickets if you want to come. Lara, I don't know if
what's the date again, Colin? I've already forgotten what date it was.
22nd of July, so a month today of recording.
I don't know if I can, because Nicky's doing his run that weekend. He's running to London, so
you can go to the Ska Festival afterwards.
That's true. There's no excuse. If anything, he can. There.
How far is he running from Swansea to Wales? Is that Swansea, right? Swansea to London even? Yeah,
Swansea to London. It's like 300 odd miles, something like that.
Yeah. Why is he doing that? We should plug that.
Oh yeah, it's because he's running to raise money for 10 of Us Cancer Charity. They provide care for cancer patients, I suppose, because we found out in March that my mum had cancer, and 3 days later she died from it. So we're still in dealing with the fact that she had it, and dealing with the fact that she died. So it's kind of like a way of, I mean, if we caught it sooner, mum would have utilized the services of 10 of Us. So yeah, he's raising money for that. So his goal at the moment is to raise £3,000. I think he's probably raised about 2.5 already. And the run starts on the 22nd, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, he's got a Just Giving page, hasn't he? I'll put a link
in
he
does.
The bit down below. So if you can spare some money, that's going to a great cause, and it's really, really far. Imagine running from
it's crazy.
Swansea to London.
It's crazy. He's going from Swansea train station up to Paddington, because my mum used to work in the DVLA, and quite high. She'd been there for years, so she'd ended up quite high up there before she retired. And she used to do a lot of traveling to London on the train, so that's kind of why he chose those distances, because she'd go there once a week. So yeah, he's got a YouTube channel as well, which I think is called Running to London, where he just basically goes over his training runs. He takes his GoPro out and records his runs, and it's all a bit wild because he, runs up to Talbot, which is like the other nearest town, like 40k.
Cool. Well, we'll put that in the description as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just seeing that we've got less than 1 minute on the
no, it's fine. I'm
the Zoom.
talking
So
about
yeah, but so please support that if you can. The links will be in the thing, and we'll speak. We might do an album club soon because we still haven't done that for about months. I'm currently still the champion. But we'll organise that soon for you. We'll stop the festival content a bit because that's what we've done lately. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're at Bristol Booze Cruise, tell us your highlights. Read Colin's Punk Rock World and check out CPRW Records and listen and subscribe things. Yep. Bye.
Bye.